Hello, welcome back to City Planner Plays, where we are playing Timberborn and building the ultimate beavers colony. And today, we are going to make sure that we have all of our basic needs figured out. So that is trees, food, and water. And we're going to start preparing to build a really amazing reservoir. We're about to have a dry season, so we're going to be in a rough spot. We need to start collecting lumber because we are stalling out on our lumber mill, which is what we need to build our forester. So let's do what I was reluctant to do before and just start clearing lumber in places that we know trees aren't going to regrow. It's no big deal. We need the lumber desperately. Okay, so now we're finally starting to clear some of this lumber and we need this. And now that we're clearing lumber, they're going to start building this. I'm starting to think that we maybe should have, maybe we need a forester over here and we can start thinking more about these logs. They're going to start growing back. Rather, lumberjack flag. So there we go. We'll add one more lumberjack flag. We need to work all day. No. The drought's already started. We'll take it easy. So I think we have plenty of water to make it through 4 days. It's not perfect, but it's okay. We are going to speed this up. I kind of want to speed up this science center. I'm going to speed everything up because apparently that's how I roll. Just speed everything up and hope for the best. Another lumberjack flag over here. Let's get this. We need to really crank on this wood. We're struggling with this, and it's silly, really. We just need to go. Right, this doesn't reach all the way over there. If I extend this road just a bit, will that help? Almost. Nope. I wonder if I move this guy way over here. Yes, that'll do the trick. Anything for a little extra wood. Oh, so the thing that stinks now is even because of our drought, we're not going to be able to get this thing going. So maybe let's throw in a power wheel. I don't love this, but it will do the trick. So I want to be as space efficient with this as possible. Maybe this isn't the best place for it. So this will allow a beaver to come and actually power this manually with beaver power rather than using water power. So it'll do the trick. I'm leaving a little extra space just in case I want to start to think about adding another one of these lumber mills in the future. Only a day and a half left of this. We're fine. In fact, I'm going to pause this so that we can make it through this without any major snafus. It feels good to have lumber, even if it is highly temporary lumber. It feels good. And we need it. Desperately need it. Now we should be cranking on some science too, so that's good. One more day of our drought. We're just waiting these trees. Oh man, we're so close now. 15, and then this will start moving. And we do have 7 logs in there. And we need 7 over here, so I'm going to speed this up because I don't want them to prioritize building this stuff. I mean, I want this because we need more people, but at the same time, we really need this lumber mill working. And the funny thing is, by the time they're done, this is going to be working again. So I guess whatever. Oh, all of the logs are here and they didn't finish it. You know what? You guys are going to finish it. You can work all day. We are in kind of a bad spot with water, so let's turn these back on. And the drought's over, so we're good. We'll go back to a reasonable 16-hour workday. And just to really give myself some overhead, I think that we're going to build this lumber mill and just... I'll low priority there. This is a much higher priority at this point, as is this. This is our highest priority, and we are 2 planks away from being able to plant trees. Finally! This has been absolutely horrendous. Okay, and I think that I'm going to go through here and just wipe all this stuff out and redo it. Oh, we finally have a lumberjack. Thank goodness. This has been absolutely brutal. For some reason, I'm not planting everywhere though, so we're gonna crank this up. And I think we're gonna do maple almost in the rest of these spaces because we need wood. We need lots of wood. I want wood to no longer be a thought in our mind. Okay, so this is gonna make things really, really good for us. I'm also gonna plant over here. There we go. So we should have a ton of lumber someday. That also makes me think a little bit about over here. So we've got carrots, but really nothing else. So we're starting to figure out our wood. Now we need to figure out our food situation. I see that we are in a weird spot with our storage. We're almost filled up, and that makes me think that maybe we need to start thinking about better storage options. We do have plenty of science to purchase one of these better storage solutions. So let's bring this in. We'll start to organize our city a little bit. There we go. I like that. Just right there. Start to build that grid. And why don't we start thinking about some decorations with our science too? I know that we do need a large water tank, but then we need gears too. Oh man, there's just so many things that we need. So we're not going to be able to do that just yet. And that's okay. That's okay. And they're building, oh good. So we should prioritize this in the right order. Because if they're going to do this, we want to make sure we at least get access to places. not just here's a random step. We can come out and look at our balcony, but we can't actually get up to it. And now there's a staircase. Okay, well, right direction. Oh, and it's a beautiful sight to see this. Finally, some trees growing. 1% progress. Now we're going to take this to the next level with the foresters. We don't have people, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. I think I'm going to put that right about here. I think this is going to be a good spot for it, because then we can plant some more blueberries. So why don't we just right here, we will mark these for demolition. There we go. So this is another high priority because everything is a high priority, except for this. This is kind of a high priority, but not really. We have no lumber, so that's a problem. Okay, so we finally have our hauling post ready. I'm going to take this down to 4 workers. Our builders, we got 4 of them. They're not doing anything right now. They're just kind of hanging out. And at least our homes are ready, so we have children. We're moving. Just like they are. They're going really fast. We got this guy over here. He's doing this. We don't really need it, but, enjoy yourself. 16 years old, and that is what your life has become, just running on this wheel. Powering up a building that already has power. Why don't we pause that? So I'm noticing that there's a bunch of berries over here that there's nothing happening to, and that makes me think that we are not doing enough with our gatherer's flag. And I'm wondering, do we have that down here? Is that the issue? Yeah, look at this. We bring this up here, and now we're good to go. Now we're going to be able to reach all the way back here. We have this extra forestry flag. I don't really know what it's doing, because we have it up here already. That's much more effective. So let's get rid of that one down here. There we go. There we go. And that'll actually open up some more land. We could farm more than we are doing. Why don't we do more? We should really be prioritizing we are prioritizing harvesting. And let's plant some more. So I guess at this point I'm thinking I might as well just plant everywhere. Is there really a disadvantage? Because we need food. And I don't have the forester. So worst case, I can get rid of these in the future. Kind of ugly. Very ugly, actually. But we'll figure it out. We'll remove this in the future. They're really cranking it. I know I shouldn't do this. But I really would love to have another farmhouse to really maximize our efficiency heat. Yeah, and where are we going to get 25 logs? I don't even have 8 for over here. We do have some trees growing up over here. 23, 30. Okay, well, progress is progress. Progress takes time. Ooh, we're going to get 3 logs. I guess that's something. Add some more haulers. We want to make sure we don't have any unemployed folks in here. And it's really too bad that we spent so many of our logs on this large warehouse that we actually have no use for just yet. So we can't unlock our water tank. We can't do anything with it yet, but just for fun, we at least have it set up. We know where we're going to put it. I probably need a couple of these, but for the time being, not really much I can do about it. Then I'll just ready this up for the next thing I'm going to do, which is plant a bunch of trees back here. So we're ready. We're just waiting. And waiting's the hardest part. But with this, once we have some more logs, we should have... Ooh, there's a couple logs over there. I wonder. Oh yeah, we're doing it. We're doing it. So we've got this guy over here, but that's not really a super effective place. We already have this one. Is that a... Yeah, yeah, this guy needs to go. He needs to go. And that's more places for carrots. So this guy should be able to reach these way out there, which is nice. We need that. Anything we can do at this point. We have one log. Oh, 3 days until our next drought. Well, we don't have a ton of water stored. We could honestly probably use a pump too. I'm just adding all these things without any real game plan on when we're actually going to be able to do things. It's a little bit stressful. I would love to put this here, but that means I would need a platform. And now I can put this here, and that's a little bit more space efficient, but that's one more thing. So I guess we're gonna just need to sit tight. And I'm gonna, well, so many things. We're gonna crank on the hauling post, and I guess they can haul things places. I don't know that we have much to haul right now. We didn't get these berries either. Interesting. Maybe we prioritize that by the haulers? Or is it that we're full? No, we're not full. We're not anywhere near full. We've got a lot of berries, but nowhere near full. So I kind of want there to be a dam here as well. I probably shouldn't be pre-planning all this infrastructure, but I'm going to. Oh, that's going to be such a great connection at some point in the future. A long ways into the future. I have no idea when we'll actually get to that. I want to start thinking about levees and... Oh, I love the floodgates. Love the floodgates. And of course, all of it needs wood, and we have none, so I don't know why I'm so fixated on that right now. Well, there's a little less than a day left, and we've got 2 extra workers, so let's just get this guy working already. Just start running on the treadmill. And powering up this, just in case we ever have lumber again, which at this point feels like we never will. Oh, we're 4 logs away from being able to actually get this thing built. That's it. That is brutal. We need this desperately. I'm just going to clear out this stuff because I know that we're close at this point. So what I really want to do over here is have even more wood. So I am going to clear out everything that's planted here. Get rid of that stuff. And then over here, we have our gatherer. So why don't we just focus on that? Because I think that the farmers are struggling a bit. There we go. And then what we're going to plant here instead will be blueberries everywhere in this area. So there we go. That'll be a lot better. We just need this to actually become something. And then, again, I want this to be so ready. So we're just going to plant everything up. And then we'll put a log pile right here as well, because we're going to need that. In fact, we'll probably need more than 1. So why don't we just put 2 right off the bat? My only regret here is that now there's no good path to get through. So I might just place this here just to give them another option. Otherwise, they're stuck and they have to walk all the way around. We are in our drought. Not that long, 2.5 days. We've got water. We've got food. We've got no wood. Never any wood. But do you see out there in the distance? We're about to have wood, and it's going to be an excellent day. And we've got a couple over here. Why aren't you going for those? Why aren't you going for those? Do you need a direct path? I don't understand. Okay, so we'll see if that helps. And he's still sitting there, just hanging out. His well-being is good because he's not working. He's just hanging out. Come on, go get those along. Oh, this is my fault. You know, he's a diligent employee. His boss is just no good. And even over here, now that I'm looking, we're gonna end up in a spot because I didn't set any of this stuff to cut down. There we go. So at least now in the future, we'll be in a spot where those actually grow. And get cut. They're going to grow. I just want them to get cut down too. Oh, 2 away. There's nothing more frustrating than the wait when you don't have wood. But we're setting ourselves up to have a ton of wood, probably a surplus of wood, more wood than we know what to do with. And then we can really focus on some fun projects, some big infrastructure projects, which is what beavers are all about, massive infrastructure projects. Drought's done. We're back in business. Trees still not done. Forester still not here because we're 2 logs short. Ooh, you see this? We're getting our first wood. There we go. This is the day that we've been waiting for. And is it prioritizing making... No! I don't know that there's a way... Okay, I guess I could turn this off. No more of those. We've got some already. Do we? How many do we have? Okay, so we don't really have any materials, so maybe we actually need them to be doing this, but I really want them to focus on this. And we've got that going now, so we can go. We're good. More trees coming up. It's a beautiful sight. It really is. It's a beautiful sight. We got this guy now. All right. This is the feeling of progress. And truthfully, it feels pretty slow. I think we're going to unlock the gear workshop. We're going to unlock the gear workshop. Now that I'm thinking about it, I have this path right there. And I know that I'm going to need this in the near future for a number of different buildings. And I'm not going to be able to get power to it. But I do have this nice setup here. So I should, before I completely lock myself in, I should get things planted and going and get that in the right place. So the gear workshop is valuable for a number of kind of later things, like the large water tank. I need the gears for that. So I have this over here and I'm going to get stuck building this because I don't have the gears. And while I'm going crazy getting ahead of myself, why don't I get ahead of myself again? And I'm going to place this forester here. Maybe I can spread him out a little bit. This is probably adequate. He'll cover some of that old land, some of the new land. And then I want to plant everything up again. The nice thing is we're giving ourselves enough space in between our different plantings that we should see these coming up at different times. And that's really the thing I care about the most. And I think we're going to leave this spot open, and we might have some foresters there in the future. And now I can't see how far this goes. I'm going to assume it takes me all the way out here and back here. Maybe back here. This building's not connected to a district. Oh, that will get fixed once we build this across. So we're just kind of cruising along, and I kind of wish that I would have made this straight. This is kind of the me being a little too obsessed with this, but I would love for this to kind of be our backbone road right here. But instead, they got to turn a corner. You don't have a direct line of sight. That said, if you turn around, you get to see our majestic forester, which is really our most important building in the entire city at this point, because no one else matters. If you're not getting me wood, then I'm not interested. And I think we're going to need to think about more housing soon too, although until we have more food, we should probably, and more water. If we have a long drought, we are in trouble. We are in a lot of trouble. Thankfully, they're working on our second farmhouse, and that's going to be critical if we want to actually get this stuff planted quickly. And I might set one to plant and one to harvest. This guy might actually be a planter by the time it's all said and done. And then this can harvest. Maybe we'll set all of it to harvest and just store food because we're going to need it. And this guy's planted everything over here, and look at that. Just beautiful. Interestingly, I didn't think that this was going to be the case. Can't actually make it back here. I thought that was going to be fine. Huh. That's disappointing. It's very disappointing. So yeah, none of this stuff's actually going to get planted. So maybe this guy will help eventually after we get this. He's got his planks, because apparently we're doing that. Look at this. It's only one, but one is all, that's a start. At this point, I will take one log. Although, a little dubious about whether this is the best choice long term. So in the last one, I was thinking I'll mix it around. I'm almost done mixing and thinking that the birch really, that's 9 days, but we go a little over double that, and we get 8 times the logs, so it'd be you know, 4 times overall. I might, yeah, we got to. We can't keep this birch. So eventually, when this all clears out, we will replant maple throughout here. The pine is good too, but the birch is pretty terrible, pretty rotten. We don't want any more of that than we have to have. And then once our maple's finally matured, we're gonna be in the money with trees, because we got it everywhere, or at least that's the goal. And we don't often have reserves, but we finally have a reserve of 5. Count them, 5 logs. And we have our second farmhouse. No unemployed beavers though, so we need to take a couple away from the hauling post. Not a big deal. We need you guys over here. Prioritize yourself. We almost have our second lumber mill too, so that's going to be very helpful. I also want them to start prioritizing the gear shop. This storage is almost done too. It's a hefty project. And I think I'm not satisfied with the speed of these lumberjacks. So why don't we just add one more right off the bat? And we'll give them some storage too. And we'll place it off in this area that is that is dry, and then they can remove the lumber and put it over here. And you see me overbuilding these log piles. That's because I think that, I mean, you can see all these maples. We are about to have a whole bunch of wood. Thankfully, we're finally in that spot. It takes a while, but once you have a sustainable lumber supply, then the whole game opens up to you. You don't have to worry about anything. So that's why I wanted to make sure we get this planted and figured out quickly. I'm just going through and clearing out some of the junk wood back here. Maybe you don't think that birch is junk wood. I don't, but I do in this game. Oh, 3 days away from a drought. I would really love for them to get this done. I don't know if we're gonna get there though. I don't know. I know one way to get us there. We'll add one more lumberjack flag. Everyone's a lumberjack. We need as many beavers cutting down wood as humanly possible. Beaverly possible. So at this point we have 6 lumberjacks, which I think is the most I've ever had playing this game. So we're gonna see how this works. Maybe it's great, maybe it's horrible. Not sure. So we have 15 logs. I think that's the most that we've had since the start of the game, basically. And we've got our large warehouse. So good. That's some progress. I think I'm going to add one more small water tank because it fits. I think we'll add one more over here as well. Anything at this point to ensure that we have water, because we're about to be in a drought. We don't have this thing built. I really was hoping that we would see this thing get built. We're down on planks there, interestingly enough. We didn't get our... Oh, we got our platform. We need our 12 logs, and we've got them, so hopefully we can get this. We've got our other water pump. We're good. Oh, I feel like we're actually making some progress. I'm queuing things up, and it's actually getting taken care of, which feels good because it has not been like that for most of the game. So it's just been me doing things and nothing happening. Okay, so they finished it up and we are pumping water. Got our couple of tanks ready, and we're making progress towards our lumber mill. We're actually in a spot where we're catching up on things. This is great. We're 3 planks away from having our gear workshop, which means that we really need to get this lumber mill done because it's not going to have power. And it's still not going to have power. We better add some more beaver power to this. There we go. Because this needs quite a bit more power than we're supplying. It needs 120 horsepower. We are not giving it that. So we'll beaver it up. We probably should start to invest in large windmill. We do not have the science for that, but we do have it for a small one. So I wonder, maybe this is the appropriate course of action. We'll get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. We should be a little bit more modern with our power supply. So I'll put that right there. And then we'll need a power connection here. And now once we have this, the wind should power our gear workshop. And that's, you know, we still can have our beaver power. No, no, we can't. Too close. That's quite all right. This will be a much better solution once we finally get there. This is a longer drought. This one is 4 days. So I might turn off some of our water pumps so we don't overdo it. We'll keep this one on. Hopefully that's enough to keep us moving. Okay, just 4 more trees over here, and then we'll have this completely replaced with our maple, and I am glad because I'm tired of this. I've been going through here and slowly removing all of these birch. Now we've got all maple, and that's what I really wanted. Let's get this thing working right. Not a part of the network. Oh, at least we're making progress here. We have 65 logs? That is awesome. We finally have logs. No unemployed beavers. We need some more housing. And I really love to get this triple lodge. So why don't we go for that? We'll go for the double lodge too. We'll just start unlocking these homes. So one of the things I love about this triple lodge, you can actually throw it in the water like this. I think it makes a really neat atmosphere. So look at that. We're gonna have, this will be a really cool place when it's finally done. So these are in the water, but it'll do the trick. Oh, I'm actually regretting my placement a little bit. So we're gonna slide that over just a scotch. Then we'll add one more structure here. Oh, we don't need to. The main reason is I just want to have a path connection over here to get around. Now there's enough room here to put another house. And I can unlock this one now and place a single house here. Now we're getting dense. That's what I like to see. Nice, dense housing. So our drought's almost done. I'm going to turn on our water pumps again. We'll be fine. We can make it a day. Although I don't have a water marker, so I don't really know how much water's left in here. That might be another thing to think about. But we don't have enough science for that. If you put one of these in there, it'll tell you how much water's left, which can be very helpful. At this point in time, though, look at that. 130 logs. We've got our dam here. This guy is connected, but we don't have any unemployed foresters or unemployed beavers. We've got food. We are reaching a bit of an equilibrium, which is what I was hoping for. I mean, at a certain point, that's all you can hope for, is just some sort of balance so that you can actually survive for a while. And now we can start thinking about more advanced food and things of that nature, more significant infrastructure projects, and just kind of balancing things out a bit. I feel like we're making some really good progress. I want to see the rest of these things get built and see where we end up. Look at that. We got our windmill, our first windmill. And I wonder if this guy can reach. He can't. Oh, that's brutal. That is painful. So we would need another forester. And if we're going to do that, I might as well add... We will add a path across here. We'll make a connection right down there. I don't know if that's not going to do the trick, but what we can do now is add one more forester, and I'm hoping this will be all that we really need for quite some time. I really dislike the way that this is lined up, and this is just me going above and beyond to be ridiculous, but I'm going to clean it up because it bugs me. So we're going to get rid of some of this. Oh, we need that road there. Yeah, because of the direction it's facing. Do I need this? I don't. So we can plant some trees there. And of course we're going to go with maple. Right down there. Perfect. Of course I have it set to plant here, but there's nothing that we can actually plant, so let's just... There we go. We won't be ridiculous about it. We understand our limitations. And this is actually going to be a nice little connection. Just like I think this dam is super valuable. And what I want to think about, we'll probably wait till the next one, is kind of a levee project here. Maybe we'll back it all the way up to here. The problem is this is all connected, and if we go too high, it's going to spill back here and flood our city out. So we need to be really thoughtful about how we're doing this. Otherwise, we're going to end up in a world of pain. So our productivity now for our gear workshop is 88%. It's about as good as we could hope for, I think, at this point. We don't have any decorations or anything like that that would make our beavers happier or work better. So this is pretty darn good. Look at that, 6 children now that we've built all this extra housing, but no place for the beavers to socialize. And I think that we need to fix that. So I think a rooftop terrace would be amazing. So why don't we add that right here? We will add a staircase up. Oops. Oh, I didn't want to put that there. It's one of the things about the views. If you don't get it just right, it's just wrong. There we go. And that's going to help us with our reproduction. Because right now we're just not really going all that quickly. And I think that's going to help us speed things up. Once this gets built, but we've got plenty of lumber. I mean, we're in a good spot there. I'm almost thinking that we should start thinking about our science as well. I mean, beavers are our limitation, but they won't be for long. So I'm going to queue up 3 of those, because as soon as we can do that, we are going to do it. Look at this progress. We've got plenty of lumber to knock down, plenty in storage. Another forester over here. No unemployed beavers though. That we can fix that. Apparently not. I thought that would do the trick, but we'll knock it down 2 more. Okay. Now Gnog is going to help us plant trees over here, and he'll take care of over here. Perfect. That's exactly what I was hoping for. Over here, so we do have, okay, we have plenty of overlapping coverage. I want this to be replenished quickly. We've got this forester right here. He will help with double coverage. We've got one over here. Can reach most of it. Probably add one more over here in the future as well. But I think that for logs, we're in a fine spot. Water, probably a little less fine. I think I'm going to add 1 platform here. Let's get that sped up. And then we're going to add this right here. Not the most beautiful thing to look at when you leave your house, but you know what? If you want a short trip to work, it doesn't get much shorter than that. Look at that. They're hanging out at the bar together. It's not totally complete, but it's good enough. It's good enough. Another day at the office, another day building lots of beaver stuff. So wow, yeah, we're making progress. Let's see. So food is still lagging behind. I'm pretty disappointed. We're gonna need to think about that in the next one. I mean, we're fine, but we're not great. And I want to be great. And I think a big part of that is we just have a lot of carrots and nothing else. We are in a great spot with wood. We are using up all of our planks and gears. Really want this water tank to be done. We're very close. We've got some unemployed beavers, which tells me that we're making some progress. Look at this, our little beaver hangout. Homes are filling up. Got some space, but not much, because we have 13 children. So we are going to need more food. Otherwise, we're going to have a death wave at some point, and we are certainly on our way. And we're ready to build our big infrastructure project soon, which should open up some more land for farming, hopefully. Hopefully. And I'm almost thinking that it would be nice to have another forester up here to plant some of these berries, because we're stuck. But even at that, maybe it's not that big of a deal. Maybe it's fine. I might even be able to get away with just adding some steps up here. We'll try that first. All right, and we've got some nice redundant beaver roads, and they can get up just a little bit further than before. So that's a little disappointing. I thought that it was going to be a little better than that. If I add that road, nope, nothing, no difference. But honestly, at this point, any little bit helps. We need food. we're kind of struggling. So unfortunately, I think I added so many roads that we actually took out more plants than we added. So that is one of the struggles that I can have at times, is going through and thinking too much about connectivity, which in most other situations would be a good thing. Not here. Not here. Beavers lounging during the day. What are you guys doing? No. Get to work. Only 6 children. Lots of unemployed beavers. And we've got our water system in check. I think that we've actually accomplished everything I was hoping to. We've got water now. We've got lots of storage. We've got lots of pumps. We've got lots of wood. And we've got more food, a more secure food supply than we had before. We could certainly do better, and we're gonna do better. But for today, I'm quite pleased. So I think we're gonna leave it here. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and if you want to hear if you want to know when I release new videos, hit that notification icon. I will see you in the next one. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.